We continue now at the top of Daf Bava Metzia Daf and Meseches Bava Metzia. This is Bava Metzia Daf 86a. On the previous summit, the Gemara said that Shmuel Yarchina healed Rebbe, and Rebbe attempted to give Shmuel Yarchina smicha, and he was unsuccessful. And Shmuel Yarchina said there's no need for concern, because I saw in the Sifra of Adam Harishon, and we'll take a look at Rashi first, Sifra di Adam Harishon, the Sefer of Adam Harishon, Sheireu HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him Dor v'Sofra of each generation and its scribes, Dor v'Dorsha of each generation and its Darshanim, Dor v'Chacham of each generation and its Chachamim. And I saw that it said in the Sifra di Adam Harishon that Shmuel Yarchina Chacham Yiskri, he'll be called the Chacham, the Rebbe lo Yiskri, but he will not be called the Rebbe. V'yasad the Rebbe al Yadotei, and also the healing of Rebbe will be through him. And furthermore, it said in the Sefer of Adam Harishon, Rebbe v'Reb Nosson Sof Mishnah, the Rebbe and Reb Nosson are the end of the Mishnayos, and Rav Ashi v'Ravina Sof Hora, Rav Ashi and Ravina are the end of Hora, which essentially means the end of the period of the Amoraim. And the Gemara says, V'simonech, the Nemanik, to remember it is from the Pasuk in Tehillim, Ad Avoel Mikdashe, El Avino Lachrisam. And Rashi explains, Rebbe v'Rav Nosson Sof HaMishnah, Rebbe and Reb Nosson are the end of Mishnayos, Kol Zeh Kasav L'Sham. All of this was written in the Sefer of Adam Harishon. Sof HaMishnah means Sof Tanoim. They were the end of the Tanoim. Ad Yemein Amru Ishas Devar Beveis HaMedrash, until their days, a person would say is teaching in the Beis Medrash. Vayu Talmidim Garsim Shmuel Shmuel Avad, and the Talmidim would learn each teaching on its own. V'lo hayu Mesechtes Seduros, and the Mesechtes were not arranged. V'seider Nikbatz al HaSeider, and one Seder was gathered on the other. V'heim Kalalu HaOmra B'dorosh Elifneim, and then compiled that which was said in the generations before them. V'sidru es HaMesechtes, they arranged the Mesechtes. V'achareim lo Yosifu el Ma'at, and after that it was only added a little bit. And Rashi continues, Sof Hora, that refers to Rav Ashi and Ravina. They were Sof Kol HaAmoroin, the end of all the Amoroin. Ad Yemeim, until their time, Lo Haisa Gemara ala Seder, again the Gemara was not arranged. Ala Kashaisa Sheilin and Shelas Betam HaMishnah, if there was a question in terms of the reason of the Mishnah, Beveis HaMedrash and the Beis Medrash. O Sheila al Maisa HaMora B'din Mamon O Isser, if there was some question about something that occurred in monetary issues or in prohibited issues. V'heter Kol Echad V'yechad Omer Taimo, everybody would say his reason. For Rav Ashi v'Ravina Sidru Shmuas Amoroin Shalifneim, and Rav Ashi and Ravina, they arranged all of these teachings of the Amoraim before them. The Kavu al Seder HaMesechtes Kol Echad V'yechad Eitzel HaMishnah HaRu'uya V'Hashnuyala, they fixed each teaching in the appropriate Mesechta by the appropriate Mishnah. V'hikshu Kushios Sheyesh L'Hashavu Peirukim Shuruim L'Taretz, they asked questions and they gave appropriate answers. Heim V'Amoraim Shemoim, them and the Amoraim with them. The Kavu HaKol B'Gemara, they established it all in the Gemara. Kagon Eisvei, Meisvei, Rumini, Boilu, V'Aterutzim Shaleim, for example, when it says in the Gemara Eisvei, Meisvei, etc., and all the various answers. Masha Shairu Asan L'Shalifnein, whatever was left over before them. V'yosan Shamru Lifneim HaKushos V'Aterutzim Shaleim Lo Kavim B'Gemara Al Seder HaMesechtes V'Hamishna Shasider Rebbe Uvo Rav Ashi V'Ravina V'Kavim. When those questions were said earlier, when those answers were said earlier, they weren't established in the proper Mesechta by the proper Mishnah that Rebbe had arranged, and that's why Rav Ashi and Ravina came and they fixed them in the proper place. The Simonech and the Nemanik is that Avoel Mikdashi El, Mikdashe Simona de Rav Ashi, the word Mikdashe is a simon for Rav Ashi, and Avina, when it says in the Pasuk the word Avina, Simona de Ravina, that's a Nemanik for Ravina, and Liacharisam, when it says in the Pasuk Liacharisam, that means at the end, Simon Sof Hora, that's a Nemanik, that it's the end of the period of the Amoraim. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Kahana says, Ishtoi li Rav Chama bar Barate de Chasa, Rav Chama, the son of the daughter of Chasa, related to me. Some say it's the son of the daughter of Chama. In any case, he related to me the following: Rabba bar Nachmeni agav shamda noch nafshe. Rabba bar Nachmeni, it was because of persecution that he died. And the Gemara explains, Achlu bei Kortza bei Malka, there was an accusation made against him by the king. Amru, they said, Ika chad gavra b'Yehudai, there's one person among the Jews, to come evatel tracer alfe gavre mi Yisrael yarcha b'kaitav yarcha b'sisva micharga de Malka, that he nullifies 12,000 men from Israel 1 month in the summer, 1 month in the winter, from paying the tax to the king, meaning he causes that they don't pay the tax to the king. And so the Gemara says, Shadru Pristika de Malka Basrei, they sent a messenger of the king after him, Velo Ashkeche, they didn't find him. Arak v'yazum Pumbedisa li'Akra, he went and he fled from Pumbedisa to Akra, me'Akra li'Agma, from Akra to Agma, me'Agma l'Shchin, from Agma to Shchin, u'mishchin l'Tzrifa, from Shchin to Tzrifa, u'mitzrifa le'Eina Demayim, and from Tzrifa to Eina Demayim, u'me'Eina Demayim l'Pumbedisa, from Eina Demayim to Pumbedisa, and b'Pumbedisa Ashkeche, in Pumbedisa, they found him. Ikla pristika de malka lahu shpiza de Rabba. What happened was the messenger of the king happened to go to the same inn where Rabba was. And Rashi explains, Rabba bar Nachmeni bar Plugse de Rav Yosef. Rabba bar Nachmeni was the one who always argued with Rav Yosef. Agav shamda nach nafshe. He died because of persecution. Machmasemas malchus meis. He died because of fear of the kingdom. To come evatel, that he stops the people from paying the tax. Shenikbotzen eila benisan v'tishrei l'shmoa drasha shel Pesach v'shel Chagim. They all gather by him in Nisan and Tishrei to hear the drashas of Pesach and the holidays. Ucheshemavakshin shluchei hamelech ligvos hamaskol goles shel kol chodesh v'chodesh. When the messengers of the king want to collect the tax from each person each month, einam nimtzaim bevoteim. They can't find them in their houses at that time. So pristika, so they sent a shliach. Ikla pristika lolan bo'oso punduk shaya Rabba nechbabo. And that messenger, he ended up staying at the same inn that Rabba was staying at. And the Gemara continues, Kriva taka kame. They brought a tray before this messenger of the king, v'ashku tray kasi, and they gave him to drink from 2 cups. V'dol yua latacha mikame. They took the tray away, and hadar partsufei la'achori. His face ended up turning backwards. Essentially, he was put physically at harm because of these 2 cups. Amrule, so they said to him, they said to Rabba, my navidle, what are we supposed to do with this person? Gavr de Malko, he's a person who's coming as a messenger of the king. Amar lahu, so Rabba said the solution is as follows. He said to them, Krivu taka lekame, bring another tray in front of him, ve'ashkayu chad kasan, give him 1 more cup, ve'dalyu letacha mikame, and then take away the tray, ve'letasi, and then he will be healed. Avdule hachi, that's exactly what they did, ve'tasi, and he was healed. And so Amar, so the messenger of the king said, Meida yadana de gavr de kabina hachu, I know that the person that I'm looking for, he's here. And the Gemara says, Bachesha basrei, he searched for him, v'ashkache, and he found him. And Amar, and then the messenger of the king said, he told the people at the inn, Azlina meha, I will leave here. Imiktal katlu lahu gavra, even if they kill that person, meaning even if they kill me, lo maglina, I will not reveal the whereabouts of Rabba bar Nachmeni. However, he did say, V'i negidi menagdinle, but if they beat him, meaning if they beat me, then maglina, then I will reveal where he is. So in the end, Asyu lekame, in the end, they brought Rabba before this person. Aile leadruna v'tarke lebava bianpe, they brought him into a small room and they closed the door in front of him. Ba rachme, and then Rabba davened for mercy. Parak ashisa, arak v'yazal liagman, the wall crumbled and he fled to the swamp. Have Yosef Agirda de Dekula, he was sitting on the stump of a palm tree, Vikagaris, and he was learning. Kamiflagi b'mesifta derakia, and at this time there was an argument going on in the yeshiva in heaven. In Baheres Kodemis Lasar Lovan, let's say the Baheres comes before the white hair, Tameh, the halacha happens to be that it's Tameh. V'im Sar Lovan Kodem LeBaheres, and if the white hair comes before the Baheres, Tar, so then the halacha happens to be Tar. And the issue was as follows, Safik, what if you have a doubt? What if you don't know which came first? What's the halacha in terms of the laws of Tzaras? HaKadosh Baruch Hu Omer Tar. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says the halacha is Tar, it's pure. V'kulu Mesifta de Rakia Amri Tameh, but the entire yeshiva of the Rakia, the entire yeshiva of the heavens, they said Tameh, that it's impure. V'amri, and so then they said, Man Nochach, who's the one that's able to decide the answer in this dispute? Nochach Rabba bar Nachmeni, let Rabba bar Nachmeni, let him be the one to decide. Diyama Rabba bar Nachmeni, because Rabba bar Nachmeni said, Ani Yochid ben Negoyim, I am singular when it comes to the laws of Negoyim, of Tzaras. Ani Yochid ba'oholos, I'm singular when it comes to the laws of Oholos. So Shadru Shlicha Basrei, so they sent a messenger after him. Lo have motzi Malach Hamavis lemikravle, but the Malach Hamavis couldn't even get close to him. Midalo have a kapasuk pume migirse, because he didn't stop learning. Adahachi, in the meantime, Nashav Zeka, a wind blew. The Avish ben Ekani, it made noise among the branches. Savar, so he thought Gunda de Parshi, we thought it was a battalion that was coming after him. Amar, he said, Teinach Nafshe do Gavra, it's better that this person should die, meaning to say he wanted to die. Rather, Velo Yimser biyada de Malchus, he shouldn't be given over in the hands of the kingdom. When he was dying, Amar Tar, he said Tar, meaning to say he ruled in this case that the halacha is Tahar. He said Tahar, Tahar, it is pure, it is pure. Yatzas Baskol, V'yamra Baskol went out and said, Ashrecha Rabba bar Nachmeni, fortunate are you, Rabba bar Nachmeni, Shagufach Tar, that your body is pure, V'yatzasa Nishmascha V'tar, and your soul left when you said the word Tahar. Nafal Piska Mirakia bePumbedisa, there fell a note from the heavens in Pumbedisa, Rabba bar Nachmeni Nisbakish b'Yeshiva Shalmala, that Rabba bar Nachmeni was requested by the Yeshiva Shalmala that Rabba bar Nachmeni had died. Nafku Abaya v'Rava v'Kulu Rabbanan le'asuke be. So Abaya and Rav and all the Rabbanan, they went out to deal with the body. Lo have a yadi duchte, but they didn't know the location. Azlu li'agma, they went out to that swamp. Chazut tzipare de metali v'kaimi, they saw that the birds were hovering and forming a shadow. Amri Amri, they said, Shmami, no, we see from this, Hasamhu, this is where he is. Safdu Talasa Yume, they eulogized him for 3 days, Utalasa Leilusan for 3 nights, Nafal Piska, and then a note fell again, Kol HaPore Shehe Benidoy, anyone who separates, anyone who stops eulogizing is going to be ostracized. So Safdu Shiva Yome, so they eulogized him for 7 days, Nafal Piska, then a note fell, L'chula Beischem L'shalom, go to your houses in peace. And the Gemara says, Ahu Yom Adanach Nafshe, that day that he died, Dalia Zafa Vidori Lotaya, there was a storm, a hurricane that formed and lifted up a certain Arab, Kirach of Gamlas, he was riding a camel, Mehai Gisa Denahar Papa, he was riding on one side of the river Papa, Beshadya Bahach Gisa, and the hurricane threw him to the other side. Amar, so he said, my hi, what's going on over here with the storm? Amrile, they said to him, Nach Nafshe, the Rabba Bar Nachmeni died. Amar Lafan of Ribona Shalom, so he said, Master of the world, Kuli Alma Didach, the whole world is yours, V'Rabba Bar Nachmeni Didach, and Rabba Bar Nachmeni is also yours. At the Rabba v'Rabba didach, you are beloved to Rabba, Rabba is beloved to you. Amai kamechareves leili alma. Why are you destroying the world? So nach zafa, so the storm calmed. And Rashi explains, Ashke train kasi v'dal yua letacha. They served the messenger of the king. This was at the inn. They served him 2 cups and they took away the tray. V'sheidim hamamunim ala zugos. Now the demons that are appointed over zugos, over pairs, mazikin esashosa zugos, they end up damaging someone who's drinking in pairs. That was the issue over here. Uvnei habayis lo neskavnu lekach. Now the people in the inn, that was not their intention, and so this person, his face got turned around. That was essentially the damage. So Amrulo, so they said to him, B'nei hapunduk l'Rabba, the people of the inn said to Rabba, my navid, what should we do? In other words, what should we do to fix the situation? They ended up bringing another cup so it wouldn't be pairs. Negude menagdili, but then the messenger said that if they beat me, v'im yisruni b'yisurim agale, if they're gonna beat me, if they're gonna afflict me, then I will reveal where you are. V'tarke l'Bava, so they put them in a room, sagar hadelas, and they closed the door, and parak ashisa nafla achoma, so then the wall crumbled, it fell. Agirda de dikla al geza dekel katzitz, and then it says that he sat on the stump of a palm tree. And then they were discussing in Shamayim in Baheris Kadma L'Sar Lavan Tameh. If the Baheris comes first, so then we say Tameh. The Sar Lavan Shaparach Bo Husim L'Tumah, because the hair that is white, that is a sign of Tumah. Kedechsiv Yinei Nepach Sar Lavan Baheris, that's what it says. So if it happens in that order, then it's Tameh. If it's the other order, then it's Tar. Lefi Mashakasa B'Torah, according to what's written in the Torah. They had a question, what about in a situation of Suffolk? And then the Gemara said, Gunda Gedud Shel Parashim Shemechapsin Acharav. He thought it was a battalion. He thought the wind was a battalion that was chasing after him. And then the Gemara said that a note fell from the heavens, but Pumbedisa V'hu Rosh Yeshiva, but he was the Rosh Yeshiva there. Metalale Osen Sel Bekanfei, and the birds were making shadows with their wings. Doli Zafa, then the storm came, Gava Ruach Sa'ara, it was a wind from the storm, and it lifted him up. And then finally the Gemara said, At the Rabba, Ata Oavo Shel Rabba, you are the beloved of Rabba. And the Gemara before was discussing obese Amoraim, so the Gemara continues along those lines. Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta Baal Basar Have. Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta was obese. Yom Echad Have Chamim, one day it was warm for him. Have Salak V'Yasav Ashina Datura, so he went and he sat by the boulder, by the mountain. Amar Lo Livrate, and he said to his daughter, Biti Hanifi Ala B'Menifa, he said, my daughter, fan me with the fan to cool me off. V'ani eten lach kikarin de nard, and I'll give you these bundles of nard. Nard was a kind of perfume. Adahachi, in the meantime, Nashva Zeka, the wind blew, and that cooled him off. So Amar, so he said, Kama kikarin de nard, how many bundles of nard, Lamari Dichi, to the one who brought this wind. And Rashi explains, Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta mishum da'ayri bereisha da'agadata b'balei basar nakat la. Since originally we were talking again about obese Amoraim, that's why we discussed this here. Kikrin de nard is agudos shel nard, that means bundles of nard, vuase kashibol, and it's made like stalks. Lamari dichi lebalav shel ruach zeh, to the owner of this wind. And the Gemara continues at the 2 dots. The Mishnah said, Hakol kaminig hamadina, everything follows the local custom. The Gemara says, Hakol lesuye mai, what is the word Hakol coming to include? Lasuye ba'asra denehigi michrach rifto mishta anpaka. It's to include, let's say it's a place where the custom is to give them bread and to give them a revius, a quarter lug of wine. Do yamar lahu, that if he says to them kadimu va'aisu lahu, you have to get up early and then I'll bring it to you. Amru lo, they can say to him, lo kol kaminach, you're not able to say that. You're not entitled to say such a condition. And the Gemara continues at the 2 dots. The Mishnah said, Ma'aseh Rabbi Yochanan ben Masya, there was an incident with Rabbi Yochanan ben Masya. Sha'amr livnot seyu schor v'chulu, he said to his son to go hire workers. And the Gemara says, Ma'aseh List, are you bringing this incident to contradict what you just said before? And the Gemara says, Chisure mechser, actually there are words missing from the Mishnah of Hachi Katani. Here's what it should say. V'im pasak lehen mezonos, if he did arrange for them that they would get food. And Rashi explains, Ma'aseh Listor v'chiderech b'nei adam lahavi, is it the way of people to bring Ma'aseh al devarov, to to bring an incident, l'sosra, that ends up contradicting the Katani Beresha, because it said in the beginning of the Mishnah, Hakol Kaminik HaMedina. In the beginning of the Mishnah, it said everything follows the local custom. Vitana Mais, and then you bring this incident, Afilu Ata Osalem, Kesuda Shlomo, where the father says to the son that even if you give them a meal like the meal of Shlomo HaMelech, that's not going to be enough. That sounds like we're not following the local custom in terms of the workers, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Pei Vav Amud Beis.